going on, you guys? It's your boy Patrick, aka Addicted to Combat, back for another week of results and a recap of UFC Paris that just wrapped up not but a few minutes ago, featuring Gane defeating Tuivasa in the heavyweight main event. An amazing fight card from top to bottom. All 12 fights were entertaining in their own ways. And out of those 12 fights, predictions-wise, I got 10 out of 12 of those correct as far as the winner of the fight. Some of them went exactly as I thought. Some of them went a little bit differently. But either way, a clean sweep as far as the bets. Referring to my best bets and props video, which went over all of my betting action. 5 money lines, 3 favorites, 2 underdogs, all came through, ending with Gane as the final one. I had him parlayed with Ricardo Ramos, which Ricardo Ramos fell off the card. So it was a straight money line bet. 2 units on minus 570 Gane. A little bit sketchy to have a straight bet on that price tag at heavyweight, but he came through. And aside from one minor slip-up in that fight that almost cost him a flawless performance, the props as well were very heavy on Gane and Tuivasa. 3 of my 4 props were on that fight. All 3 of those cashed with that finish in round 3. And the last prop was, the co-main event, which came in our favor as well. So all said and done, 10 out of 12 on predictions, 8.76 units of profit on the night. I kept it pretty light on this card. There was a couple spots I wanted to lay money on, but it sketched me out. One in particular that probably should not have was the Abbas Magomedov one. I was a little bit sketched out at his long layoff and, his level of competition. No need to be worried about that. He cashed a 19-second knockout over Dustin Stoltzfus. So, in hindsight, I wish I put money on that, of course, knowing the outcome. Same with Nasruddin Imavov. I thought that was a pretty good spot as well. Thought he would cover his price tag, but just a little bit sketched out with that power of Joaquin Buckley. No need to be sketched out on that one either. So if you were on the Imavov side, congratulations to you. But on the flip side, a bet that I really thought would have come through was Charles Jourdain, but I laid off of that one and, he dropped the ball. So one of the picks I got wrong there. But going over from top to bottom, the bets on this card were Christian Quinones to start off the night as a plus 125 underdog when I got this last week over Khalid Taha. I did not in a million years think that he would get a finish in this fight. I thought he would win by decision. And if anybody finished the fight, it would have been Khalid Taha, but not the case. Christian Quinones is able to get him out of there with a very clean counter strike off of his back foot early in the fight. So we cashed, on that plus 125, 1 unit on that one. In return, Benoit Saint-Denis over the newcomer Gabriel Miranda. I thought he would win by knockout, and that's how he won the fight. It took a little bit longer than I thought. Ended up getting that done in round 2. But again, paying the price, minus 260 money line when I got it. A steep price, but I thought there was even some more value. I thought he could have been a minus 300 or more in that fight. Cashed the unit on that. Faraz Ziam, the second underdog of the night. The money line went up a little bit north of where I got it. I got it at plus 160 on Faraz Ziam over the newcomer from Cage Warriors, Michael Figlak. And Faraz Ziam, again, a fight where I thought he would win the fight by decision, which he did. I did not think that it would be that much offensive wrestling on the part of Faraz Ziam. I did suggest that at his age, he could make some big improvements, not only in the striking, but, maybe the defensive wrestling. But he had some offensive wrestling, got top control, out-transitioned Michael Figlak left and right, and won all 3 rounds of that fight, cashing 1.6 units on that money line. Same with Quinones. That was a plus money, plus 125 on him as well. So a couple more favorites came through. Nasrat Haqparast. This was almost a fade on the age of Makdessi and all of the tail of the tape measurables. Height, reach, less fight miles, just 10 years younger. And I figured I would see an improvement in Haqparast, which I didn't see as much as I thought I would. But more so a regression on the skills of the aged Makdessi, who's been in the UFC like 18 times. I think maybe this was his 19th fight. So at 37 years old, you're going to see this guy fall off eventually. He was never that much of a high output guy, usually a counter striker. I was surprised to see Makdessi moving forward as much as he was, but he took a lot of damage in that fight. Again, lost just about every round. Minus 215 on Haqparast, paid the price, got a unit in return. So riding pretty high up until, the rest of my action was on Gane, except for that co-main event was on Robert Whittaker to win by decision. I didn't feel that the money line on Robert Whittaker was justified. I didn't think that there was that much in hindsight, I didn't think there was that much value on his money line. I thought it could have been closer. Vettori's a tough guy. He's durable and not going to get put out in the fight. So just based on that, I thought he could maybe stalemate on the cage a little bit more, maybe land some more strikes. So I didn't feel comfortable paying the money line in Rob Whittaker. I paid his minus 125, I believe it was, decision prop, yes. So I paid that price to win 1 unit in return. Robert Whittaker, extremely good head movement, extremely good footwork, good speed, good counters, and, there's a couple of spots where you really saw the chin of Marvin Vettori on display. He ate so many high kicks, so many clean right hands from Robert Whittaker. Just a pretty easy day in the office for Rob. So we'll probably see another, title fight for the former champion there. So he cashed the unit on that. And now the rest of the action was all on Ciryl Gane. I had a bet on him, of course, on that minus 570 money line, which was 2 units from that canceled parlay. I had Ciryl Gane at minus 165 to win 1 unit inside the distance. And I had, my kind of insurance props in case Tai Tuivasa won the fight, where the fight does not go to decision, sitting at, what was that at? That was at minus 230. I had 2 units on that. And the under 3.5 for the Ciryl Gane Tai Tuivasa fight. Under 3.5 rounds at minus 145. I had 1 unit on that. So everything cashed because Ciryl Gane got that knockout on Tai Tuivasa in round 3. So the under 3.5, the fight doesn't go. Both of those cashed for 0.86 units and 0.69 units respectively. And the inside the distance prop cashed for 1 unit, and the money line cashed for a measly 0.36 units as well, since that was a big money line price tag. But yeah, the body work just adding up over time. I mean, Tai Tuivasa is really tough. That's a tough fight for him stylistically. He had every measurable disadvantage in that fight. He's only been to decision twice in his career, and he didn't look particularly good in either of those. He went 1-1 in those decisions. And his last 5 fights that have got him to this spot have all been under 1.5 round finishes. So I figured if he were to win this fight, and it almost happened, he got 1 big clean shot that dropped Ciryl Gane early in the fight. I thought it might have been over there, and I would have been happy just cashing the unders and the fight doesn't go. But Ciryl Gane recovered very quickly, and you can see the gas tank fading on Tai Tuivasa as expected, and all of the body shots just crippling the midsection. He could barely stand, could barely take those deep breaths that his cardio needed at that point. And that beautiful jab that we talked about all week long, really just paying dividends for the victory of Ciryl Gane, setting up all of the strikes that followed that jab. So an amazing time. Glad to see Ciryl Gane win. As a fan, I did, in the back of my mind, I always wanted Tai Tuivasa to really ascend to the highest level he possibly could. And making it number 3 in the rankings is no small feat for a guy who's very one-dimensional as Tai Tuivasa is. Still a young guy. He might be able to hang around the UFC for a long time still at the high level, but tonight was not his night. Sometimes things have to make sense in MMA, and the better mover, the better striker, and the bigger man has to win the fight. So all of those, 5 out of 5 money lines, 4 out of 4 props, 8.76 units, 10 out of 12 predictions. Guys, we're on a 5 UFC event win streak now, so I'm more than ever motivated to go into the tape study, which I've already began probably about half of it I've finished for the next UFC event, which is UFC 279. Chimaev versus Diaz next week. I'm about halfway done. Still a few minor things I need to look at for the rest of the card. I'll have that breakdown out soon, and a lot of content across various people's channels I'll be on this week, so I'll update you on that. This week, on Wednesday night, I'll be having your favorite Uncle Weezy to break down the stats with us live on stream Wednesday night, talking all of the fights for next week's pay-per-view. And let's try to keep this win streak alive. It's starting to get a little bit scary at this point. A very hot streak we're on. I thank all you guys for watching, subscribing, sharing, retweeting, and liking the video. You guys are the absolute best subscribers. Let me know in the comments how you did on the night. The ones that I got wrong were the Roman Kopylov fight. Did not see him getting that. I thought it was going to be a round 3 knockout for DiCirico, not against him. I got that one wrong, and I got the Jourdain and Wood fight wrong as well. Shout out to my guy, Johnny K. Picks, who pretty much got me off of betting Jourdain. He was very confident on Wood, made me very apprehensive to bet Jourdain, so I stayed off of it. I'm going to keep on being careful and picking my spots here. It seems to be working, so hit that like, hit that subscribe, and I will talk to you guys next time. Cheers.